Here's 5 reasons why somatic work might be the actual key of what you're missing in your manifestation practice. So, a lot of people, when they think about manifestation, they automatically go to the law of attraction, think and grow rich, and all of these like purely mindset based practices. And those do work, absolutely, those do work. But you might be somebody that has like back pain or neck pain or body pain, or not even pain, but just maybe a little bit of discomfort, or you just might be so disconnected from your body and not even be able to feel it. Well, somatic work, working through the body, is probably what you're missing. And I'm going to explain why in a little bit. And if you stick to the end of the video, I'm going to reveal the actual top reason why it's the key that you're missing and why you need to start thinking about it, whatever kind of practice that you're doing. So the first reason why somatic work is so powerful is that your body stores emotions. Now, yesterday I had a patient from Ireland. I'm in Sedona, Arizona. She found me kind of like randomly, came in, and this woman is a very experienced body worker, owns actually a business that teaches people body work, somatic work, breath work, things like that in Ireland, and trains practitioners. And she travels all across the world. So the first thing that she actually said to me had nothing to do with a physical thing that happened. She told me that her pain began last November when she got 2 big pieces of bad news. I think it was her brother-in-law and her son-in-law. Both were diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She immediately knew that this news is what kind of like triggered the pain in her back, that no matter what she did, she went to different practitioners, massage, things like that, didn't work. So she came to Sedona, Arizona seeking other practices like Reiki and stuff like that. And she kind of happened to find her way to me. Now, I'm trained as a chiropractor, but I don't really like that term because a lot of people think a chiropractor is like one thing, but actually what's happening is so much deeper, and it depends on the practitioner that you go see. So anyway, I knew that it was emotional, but also physical, mental, and emotional. It's kind of like martial arts where there's like multiple dimensions of reality. There's the physical form of reality that we can all see, touch, feel, experience with our 5 senses. And then there's the mental, right? So it's our thoughts, our beliefs, and all of that. And you can dive into deeper practices like shadow work and whatnot. And if you want to go into those, let me know. I can do another video on that, and I probably will, because rebooting this whole channel, I'm going to make a lot of content. So stick around. And emotional, right? So the emotion is what triggered her pain in the first place. Now, I know as a practitioner, somatic work is not just physically doing something, right? So as the practitioner, you have to mentally and emotionally and physically put yourself and set the intention and work in all 3 of those planes while you're helping somebody. And the way that you do that is kind of stepping back, getting out of the driver's seat, and letting God, the innate, the universe work through you to help unblock and unstuck that interference that's in that person's body. It looks like you're just doing something physical, but really what's happening is so much more than you even know. And there's other practices to do that. You can actually do this on yourself. And I can teach you that. If you want to know more about that, also let me know. This is a lot of let me know video. So the second reason why somatic work is so important to your manifestation process is that your body is the antenna for consciousness. So when you're going out and you're experiencing the world, without this body, nothing is actually happening. You are not experiencing anything. You're not just purely mind. You're not just purely energy. Technically, all physical matter is purely energy, but it's not the same form of energy that we think of when we talk about quantum energy or any kind of the more esoteric types of energy that you can't feel and touch and experience with your five senses. It's not tuned into the same frequency. And a lot of people ignore this. So they do purely energetic practices, or they do purely mindset practices. And that's okay. But if your antenna, if your body is not tuned in, and the blockage, if the interference is not removed and you're not an open channel, it's going to cause a disruption in your reality of what you're actually experiencing. And you may not always be aware of this, but if you really tune into your body, it's going to give you a lot of clues. And that brings me on to the third reason why this work is so important to your manifestation process and just really just life in general, because it's going to be a key factor in how life unfolds for you. So your body actually is telling you where you need to work. Your body actually is telling you what you need to work on and where the energy is stuck. So whether it's like lower back pain, or it's middle back pain, or it's your arm or your leg, or a thyroid issue, or mold exposure, all of these things are keys to you understanding your belief systems, how reality is unfolding for you, and what you need to do to shift into the version of reality that you actually want to experience. And your body is going to be the key to all of that. It's actually telling you where to work. Now, if you want to go into this stuff deeper on your own, I suggest looking into, even though it sounds so kind of dumb to look at, and I used to think that this stuff like didn't really mean anything, look at the chakra maps, look at the energy centers. These basic energy centers have been mapped out for thousands of years, and they're going to give you an idea of kind of like where you're stuck, okay? And this information is freely available out there, and it'll give you a basic understanding of like why you're having that back pain, why you're having that middle back pain, why you're having that any kind of like throat, speech, neck pain, headaches, those kind of issues. It's going to give you a good idea of what's actually going on energetically in the field that you can't see. Okay? So one of the fourth reason why this work is so important is that your entire body, and this is kind of related to the other ones, especially in your fascia and all the liquid, all the water that's in your body, is essentially a crystal. Now, if you know anything about crystals, or if you know anything about microchips, which technically are crystals, they store information. So if you think that your body that's a crystal, all the fascia, the entire network, all the structured water, the whole thing, is essentially that it's exactly like a transistor or microchip that stores information in a computer, and your body is much more, like infinitely times more advanced than any computer that humans have ever created or will create. It's definitely more advanced than even the quantum computing stuff out there, because essentially your body is a quantum computer. If you think that your body is not storing those emotions and that energy of all those experiences that you've gone through in your life, then you're just being ignorant. and you're just playing in the 3D realm. And that's okay for some people, but if you're watching this channel, you're probably somebody that knows that there is something more than the world that you're actually experiencing. There is something more than just this like mundane wake up, go to work, do all the stuff they tell you to do, go to school, get a job, get old, die, just the basic shit. There's something more than that, right? This is a video game. This is a simulation. This is a simulation for you. God made this simulation for you to experience life, to express life, to gain knowledge, to understand yourself and your connection to Him, to it. So if you think that this doesn't store emotions, doesn't store energy, doesn't store information, well, I mean, hopefully you do by now. And I'm just saying this to really emphasize the importance of working with your physical body. And that's why a lot of these practices that people are really kind of also getting interested in, like breath work, yoga, I mean, which has been around for a really long time, and even psychedelics and plant medicine and all of those sort of things, they're all working with your physical body, with your chemistry, with your movement, to move that energy, to unblock things. So that way you can be a more clear channel to experience reality, to manifest, to create, to enjoy, to experience abundance, to experience health, to express health, to have good relationships. And so thank you for bearing with me to this video. I promise you I will get better at these. But hopefully the information in this is helpful. That's what I'm trying to do, not make it the polished videos with like editing and all that stuff, just like raw, just talking to you, letting you know my thoughts just as if you were in front of me, right? Now the fifth reason why this work is so freaking important, and it's related to all the other ones, is that you were given a body. You are God manifest in human man, woman form. Why would the creator, because there is a creator to all of this, that this did not just happen randomly of some rocks hitting each other and some all of that kind of nonsense. And maybe that's the start of it, but that's not the design of it, because how did we get here? How are we so different from every other animal on the planet? Why would you be designed in a way to just kind of like bumble through reality? You were literally given the controller. This is the controller. Whether it's your mind, whether it's the body, whether it's physical movement, whether it even all of those energy practices like Reiki, they all revolve around kind of you using your body to do this. Why would you be created and given this controller, but to just kind of like bumble through reality? And the key to this, the reason why this is so important, is because as you start doing this work, this physical work on yourself with your body, you start to kind of like get the instruction manual on how it all works. And 99% of people that sit around and watch TV and eat Cheetos and Fritos and do nothing, don't move, let their bodies kind of deteriorate because they just think that's how it is. They never get the handbook. They never get the instruction manual. They never learn how to use the physical, the mental, and the energetic all together to manifest, to create, to actually live the life that they deep inside know that it's possible for them. They know it. But their conscious mind thinks that it's not possible. Their subconscious knows. Their conscious mind thinks it's not possible because that's what society tells us. And it's designed that way. It's designed to keep you trapped. It's designed to keep you stuck. But as you do this work on yourself, or if you go and work with a practitioner who's experienced, or you get somebody to teach it, to do it for yourself, you get the handbook. You get the key. This, when Napoleon Hill and all these guys talk about the master key, it's not a book. It's not just a way of thinking. It's not just a belief system. Your physical being is actually the master key. So I hope this video inspires you to start doing some more physical practices, especially if you're stuck, especially if you know that there's something more for you, especially if you were like me and you were in a job, or for me, it was a business that did not feel totally aligned. Like I was just, in my old practice, I was just doing things the way that my mentors did. And I was just kind of following the roadmap. And I was just doing things the way, they were just doing things the way that society kind of like tells you, like, this is what you have to do. You have to follow A, B, and C. And then you got to get the house, and then you got to get the car, and then you got to get a certain amount of money. And then when you get that money, that's not enough. And when that business is doing great, you got to do another one. And it just all felt so empty, even though on the outside it looked like everything was great. If you're there, I hope this video inspires you to start doing more physical, mental, energetic practices. Think about everything that you do like a martial art. Think about every movement that you take, every thought that you have, that you're working with all of these forces all at once. And there's ways to kind of interlay these, and there's more systems to do it. But just right now, I just want you to just know that that's possible. I just want you to know that as you start working with your body, you're going to start unlocking things. You're going to start getting the handbook. Reality will start getting much easier. And even if it's as simple as exercise, even if it's as simple as just lifting weights, which will dramatically transform your life. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want to thank you for watching this video. I hope to just keep providing value for you through my experiences, through what I've learned and what I'm also continuing to learn, because even though I'm technically a doctor, chiropractor, and I've had some businesses that did really well, I'm not an expert. I don't feel like an expert. I feel like I'm just going through it and learning along the way. And I just want to share that with you. And I feel like this platform right here is the best way to do that. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.